Reports of the SSPDF swift victories against the SPLA-IO in Northern Jonglei State. The Chief of SSPDF, General Dr. Paul Nang Majok, had warned civilians to evacuate to safe zones to avoid crossfire as fighting continues. In an official statement made by the SSPDF spokesperson, Major General Lul Ruai Koang, the operation was carried out under the overall command of the Chief of Defense Forces, General Paul Nang Majok. No civilian casualties were reported in the statement, and the Army said operations were continuing to secure the areas. SSPDF Air Force/South Sudan Air Force report of bombing. SSPDF Air Force/South Sudan Air Force bombed Waldak in Akobo West, among other strategic towns that were being controlled by rebels. The report also alluded that Walgak, Akobo County, saw an intense battle between the White Army and the SPLA-IO. Over the spoils from Save the Children, they waged a battle, a contest over humanitarian terms, thereby chartering their unity and heightened their vulnerability. Claim of SSPDF officers' defection to SPLA-IO/A in Ler, Unity State. Lieutenant Colonel Gatluok Lul Ruai of SSPDF Division 4 has defected from the SPLMIG under President Salva Kiir to the SPLMIO led by Dr. Riek Machar. The defection occurred last Tuesday morning at Adok Barracks in Ler. Authorities from SSPDF and SPLMIG had not commented at the time. Fierce fighting in central Equatoria states Wunlit and Rokon, while SSPDF forces reportedly repelled an ethnic coalition of SPLA-IO and NAS forces in Wunlit. It was reported that valiant forces from the SSPDF pursued the SPLA-IO on Rokon and Kodak and scattered them to bushes. Contrary to what was reported, there was no fighting in Luri, and that the SPLA-IO and its supporters, for peace sake, are reprimanded to feed the public with accurate and verified information. Overall, clashes during the operation led to the neutralization of SPLA-IO rebels. Large quantities of assorted ammunition seized by the Army, including Army tanks. The SSPDF forces seized a significant cache of weapons and ammunition, including military tanks the SPLA-IO previously looted from the SSPDF. The military further released photographs showing the weapons it claims were captured from fighters affiliated with the SPLA-IO. AT-55 tank, previously abandoned by IO forces in Pajut, was recovered in good condition by the SSPDF Armory Unit. A vintage government tank long in the possession of the SPLA-IO and nicknamed the Bochar tank was eventually captured by the SSPDF. The South Sudan People's Defense Forces (SSPDF) have taken full control of key strategic locations in Low Nuer inhabited areas following military operations against SPLMIO forces. This development represents one of the most extensive SSPDF victories and territorial advances in the area in recent years. The SSPDF remains dedicated to maintaining peace and protecting civilians, according to SSPDF Deputy Spokesman. The SSPDF called on all the remaining SPLA-IO to surrender immediately, noting that peace and stability for all citizens remain its top priority. The South Sudan People's Defense Forces (SSPDF) have successfully liberated Wat and Walgak following the defeat of SPLA-IO militias. We urge all civilians to return to their villages as peace is gradually being restored in the area. SSPDF Deputy Spokesperson appeal for civilians' return to their villages. The locations currently under SSPDF control include, but not limited to, UI Headquarters, Raw County, Pieri, Patai, Motot, Wat, Pading, Tultruk, Pulchol, Paloni, Wau, Ayot County, and Pajut, Duk County. SPLA-IO claim of tactical withdrawal across low Nuer areas. SPLM/AIO, spokesperson Honorable Pal Mai Deng said their forces tactically withdrew from Pajut, Patai, Pieri, Ui, and Motot for strategic reasons and to measure the depth of the advancing troops of SSPDF. Mai reported that Sector 3 Commander John Luke Bayak is vigilantly monitoring the situation and has accused the SSPDF of committing atrocities, specifically alleging the rape of women and the killing of innocent civilians. However, serious allegations emerged regarding the conduct of retreating SPLA-IO forces. According to unverified reports from an insider, SPLA-IO elements allegedly killed prisoners of war, including women who were captured in Pajut during their withdrawal. The same source claims the perpetrators may be planning to apportion blame to the marauding government forces. The alleged killing of civilians remains unverified by independent sources, and there is an increasing call for an impartial investigation to determine the facts, ensure accountability, and protect civilians, according to our constitutional and international humanitarian law. While others are giving up on SPLA-IO battle news feeds, some SPLA-IO sympathizers persisted in their resolve, encouraging one another to remain resolute in their opposition against the government forces. Please subscribe to the SSGTV South Sudan Global.